What is going on, everyone? My name is Andy. Welcome back to another FPL video, and today is watch list time for Game Week 6. So I've got 3 players that I've taken a look at over the weekend that I'm now considering getting in my team. Not necessarily this week. I think the important thing with the watch list is it doesn't mean that immediately you have to get those players in. Obviously, I'm hoping after a wild card that I don't need to spend any transfers this week, but I am looking at potentially getting them in over the next couple of weeks. And I also think by doing this video, hopefully it'll help you with some targets that you're thinking about as well. So if you do enjoy it, hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're new around here, and let's talk about Fan Team's Champions League game. So I'm happy to be teaming up with Fan Team once again. I've been talking about their Premier League games up until this point, but this time it's Champions League. So if you've got a bit of Champions League knowledge, you want to try and win some money, this is the tournament for you. The great thing is as well, it's only for the group stages, so no need to worry about the knockout rounds in this one. It's just for the first 6 match days of the Champions League. 250,000 euros worth of prizes up for grabs. First place is 50,000, second place 25,000, third place 15,000, and it pays out all the way down to 1,744th place. So if you want to give that a go, there is a very handy link in the description below. Please do make sure to use that. That's my sign up link, and obviously it is 18 plus and gambling as well, so be gamble aware. There's a link to that in the description below as well. So if you've got a bit of Champions League knowledge, you want to test that out, try and win some money, hit that link in the description below and give this game a go. So it's been an absolutely great start for Aston Villa. Are they going to do a Leicester and win the league? I don't think so, but there's a lot of FPL options to be looking at. And I purposely, on my wildcard, didn't put Steer in goal to go along with Martinez, simply because I didn't want to block having triple Villa. So I've already got Martinez in, I've got Grealish in, but I was just thinking to myself, what if I want a third Aston Villa player, which is about as crazy as 2020 has been so far, but it is a possibility to happen. So one of the big things we don't know yet for Aston Villa is who is on penalties. Now, I'm not going to say they're going to win like 8, 9, 10 penalties where it's going to make a huge amount of difference, but it does put the stock value of a player up a little bit if they're on penalties. It could be Watkins, it could be Barkley, it could be Grealish. Grealish has taken 1 or 2 before for Aston Villa when other players have been injured, but it's a bit of a new look in some ways, Villa team this year. There's no Wesley or Samatta, so will Watkins get them? Barkley's taken them before, and he's got a pretty decent record as well, so he could get them. And if he does, it suddenly puts his value up quite a bit, considering he's only 5.9 million. And with 2 goals in 2 games, it's starting to get a little bit difficult to ignore him in that kind of price bracket, because in the 5.9 bracket, you've got Podence. Let's see how he does tonight when he plays against Leeds. But again, a lot of people who brought him in are now starting to worry about him. And below 6 million, you've got Souček. He seems to be a little bit of a tease in the box at the moment, just not getting those goals. So Barkley looks like a good option. So one of the things with him is he's got a little bit of kind of prior bias from a lot of people. Like, he's not done well. Like, there are some players where every single season in FPL there seems to be a few weeks where they're suddenly an option and then all of a sudden they're no good. I think Barkley's one of them, Zaha's one of them, Walcott's probably one of those players as well. But to be fair to Barkley, like, if you look back at previous seasons, so 2015 and 2016, so 2015-16 and 2016-17, he played around 3,000 minutes in both of those. One of them was slightly under, one of them was slightly above. He got 158 points and 144 points over those 2 seasons. In one of them it was 8 goals, 9 assists, and the other one it was 5 goals, 11 assists. So he does have some pedigree. That was a long time ago at this point, but since then, he's not really had the minutes to do that. And in this Aston Villa team, you're expecting him to kind of play 80 to 90 minutes week in, week out while he's fit. And maybe this is the kind of like new challenge that he needed. He's finally going to get some love. He's finally going to get a run in the team, a bit like he used to get at Everton for a while. And could we see the return of Barkley being decent? I mean, if he can get 144 or 158 points, that's a really, really good total for a £5.9 million player. I've also looked at the 2 games, because obviously it is a small sample size currently, but I've looked at the 2 games where he and Grealish have played together. I looked on Fantasy Football Scout. Grealish has had 9 chances created, Barkley only 1. But in terms of shots, Barkley's already had 8, Grealish only 3. Barkley 5 of those in the box, and all of Grealish's were in the box. So at current look, on a small sample size, it looks like Barkley might get you the goals, Grealish more likely to assist, although both will chip in with the other one, right? Barkley's going to get some assists, Grealish is going to get some goals as well. So I think if you've got Grealish, there's absolutely no reason to panic. He's the talisman of the team, he's going to be involved in absolutely everything, and he should continue to tick over. But if you've got a little bit less money to spend, or if you even want to double up, which sounds crazy, I know, but maybe if you've got a spot for a £6 million or less midfielder, Barkley could be the one to go for. Next 4 fixtures looking good: Leeds, Southampton and Brighton at home, and all the way up over Christmas. Like, both of these players, Grealish and Barkley, are going to get really good minutes. They're going to play week in, week out for the most part. You might see the odd rotation or rest, especially over Christmas period. But ultimately for 5.9, he looks like a really decent bet. Always temper expectations, because we all thought Podence a few weeks ago was looking great. But I think there's a little bit, even when we brought him in or when people brought him in, we knew there was a bit of rotation risk. I don't think that's going to be the case with Barkley. And like I said, if he gets penalties, that would be huge. Did someone say knee-jerk? Let's take a look at Werner and put him back on the watch list. He's finally scored, and he's done it in style, right? 2 goals and an assist. Pretty decent return. We knew, obviously, that Southampton fixture was probably going to be a good fixture. I don't think I necessarily said 100% Werner was going to score, but it looked like a good fixture, and it turned out to be as well. They got 3 goals. He was involved in all of them. And the fixtures actually look quite good to me. Like Man United away, okay, if you already owned him, you're probably pretty happy, because most people aren't going to bring him in for that fixture. But the irony is that probably is a good fixture. He's going to have space in behind as well. Burnley away, Sheffield United at home, and Newcastle away look pretty decent to me too. So short-term fixtures looking good. And you could argue for those fixtures there might not be enough space in behind. But I think at this point what's happened is what we've been saying since the start. Werner needs to play central. He needs Havertz in behind. He needs Pulisic on the left. He started. He needs Ziyech on the right. You'd expect him to start going forward as well. And suddenly that attack looks a lot different from kind of the first 3 to 4 game weeks. Yes, Havertz and Werner have been there, but they've kind of been moved around quite a lot. You wouldn't expect that to happen too often now. So Werner potentially a really good option. 0.83 expected goals for that game is pretty decent. For me, though, he has to be watch list only for now. Right? I'm not going to knee-jerk and just bring him straight back in. The thing this season is there's a lot of options. Like in my wildcard team, I don't have any Chelsea, any Man City, and that is a little bit of a worry. No Man United either, which not such a worry right now, but it might be. So I am tempted to jump on Chelsea players at some point. Like I've been waiting for them to have their team fit. I started with Pulisic and Werner, and I've got rid of both of them since. I'm not saying I'll bring them straight back in, but I'm definitely looking at it at some point. The main problem for Werner in my team and a lot of people's teams is he's 9.3 million, so he has come down a little bit. Pretty decent price potentially going forward. But Harry Kane, who a lot of people have now got in, is also doing really well and has better fixtures. And it's very hard to fit Werner and Kane if you're looking to have Son and Salah and maybe a Man City midfielder as well. So it's difficult to fit Werner in. So that's why he's on the watch list for now. Kane's fixtures for the next 3 are really good. After that, I will be looking to maybe, potentially, not 100%, move him on. It could be Werner, it could be Aguero, who we're going to talk about in a minute. But Werner, I think this could be now the catalyst for him to push on. I think, said a million times, like no one was expecting Werner to just not score for the whole season. It would just take a few things to click into place. Maybe it was just the Southampton fixture. Maybe if you want to give him a bit more time, you wait until after the Burnley game and stuff like that. But on paper, I think that's a really good run of fixtures. If you're looking for a new striker, you don't want to go Harry Kane. You've already got Harry Kane and you happen to have 9.3 million to spend. You could think about him, although I still think cheaper options probably slightly better. But if you just want that one spot there and you don't want Kane, Werner could be the one to go for. So it's good to see Aguero finally back. I didn't think he would start against Arsenal, but he did. He made it through to about 60 minutes before being substituted. Good to see him back. And given that Pep has basically said that Jesus is going to be out for a good bit of time, Aguero suddenly looks like a huge option, right? You'll often hear it in FPL community, like people will say, Jesus is out, get Aguero. If Aguero is out, get Jesus, because they're going to start regularly. They're going to get a lot of chances. There's going to be some big scores in there. So he is 100% on the watch list and someone that I might look to bring in sooner rather than later. And the thing I like about him is, a bit like Harry Kane, he's had a price drop this year, right? Both these players, or in previous seasons, you would never have got them this cheap. He's 10.4 million. He's had a price drop already. And yeah, of course, De Bruyne, if De Bruyne keeps penalties, looking great. Sterling, we know, is explosive. He's a midfielder, getting the extra point for the goal, clean sheet, etc. We know he looks great, but they're $1 million more than Aguero this year. Usually they're about the same price. Not this year, and I think you have to look at Aguero for that reason. Last year, his expected data, like expected goal involvement, was close to 1 return every 90 minutes. Now, I'm not saying he's going to get 90 minutes week in, week out, because they're going to want to keep him, basically wrap him up in cotton wool, because they can't afford for him to get injured while Jesus is out as well. So you might see a few 60 to 70 minutes for him, but getting a return per game is something he can do, and we know he's explosive. And the next 2 fixtures actually look quite good, West Ham and Sheffield United. So if you wanted to jump on early, this might be the time to do it. But often for a lot of us, fixtures looking at Liverpool and Spurs, they look quite difficult, especially that Liverpool game. Even without Van Dijk, I still think that's a hard game. So potentially you could wait till game week 10 when the fixtures get really, really good. The only issue with Man City fixtures over kind of December is you worry a little bit more about rotation, minutes being managed and stuff like that. But the thing that's kind of got me excited is, start of the season Aguero wasn't there, then Jesus got injured, now De Bruyne got injured. Soon they're going to have everyone fit. Okay, maybe not Jesus, but that doesn't matter. They've got a number 9, they got Sterling, they got Mahrez and Foden, they got De Bruyne behind. Suddenly they're looking a bit more full strength. Man City have not started the season well, right, at all. In terms of kind of their performances in scoring goals, we come to expect a lot of goals from them. Expected goals wise, they're about half of what they were kind of last season. Yes, it's a small sample size, I know, but the amount of injuries and stuff has obviously taken its toll, and they haven't really just clicked yet. So the fact Aguero is back and De Bruyne might only be potentially out for this game week, and that should be it. Maybe even back for this game week. We'll have to wait and see what Pep says. I think it's looking pretty good for City. So I don't know if I would jump on this week, but he's firmly on the watch list. I like that price point, and a switch from Kane in 3 game weeks time, or maybe even 4 game weeks time, could well be on. So I just wanted to show you the Champions League game on Fanteam. If you've not already checked it out, there is a link in the description below, like I said earlier on in the video. And this is what the screen looks like. So if you're used to their Premier League games and stuff like that, the season-long games or the weekly ones, it looks very similar to that. And obviously you've got the price list, the scoring system is very similar. You can check it all out on fanteam.com. Like I said, use that link in the description below. I've put together a team here. I will say I need to do some more research. I'm sure anyone that is very familiar with the Champions League and the Champions League players, who's best to get for, will look at this and scream, you need to do some work on that. There are some cheap options in there. I think there could be some bargains to go for. But obviously you want those big hitters, the likes of Mbappe, Haaland, Sancho. The thing I like about Champions League games, and why I'm probably going to play this year, is you get to have those players you see in the Champions League that you admire, you don't get to see in the Premier League week in, week out. Obviously, you've seen Salah, you've seen Robertson, but getting Ramos, penalty taker for Real Madrid, Sancho, exciting, didn't come to Man United, hopefully next year. And Haaland obviously looks like an absolute world beater in the next few years to come as well. So that's kind of exciting to play. And so obviously, if you've got a bit of Champions League knowledge, get entered, try and win that 250,000 prize pool, at least the 50,000 first prize. Use that sign up link in the description below. If you are into the Champions League, let me know where I'm going wrong with my team, and check it out and let me know what you think. So that's it for this one. Hopefully you enjoy it. If you did, please do give it a like. Hit that subscribe button as well if you haven't already, and the notification bell. That'll let you know when all my videos and live streams are going up. We have team selection tomorrow, game week preview on Wednesday, captaincy later in the week, deadline streams, Thursday streams. There's a lot to come, so hit that subscription button if you haven't already. And also, I want to do a quick shout out to all the patrons at patreon.com/letstalkfpl. If you want to head over there, I convert all my videos to podcasts. There's early team reveals once I've made my decisions, Slack access, WhatsApp access, loads of stuff over there if you haven't already checked it out. So shout out to everyone that's signed up already. There is a link in the description below as well. So anyone that signs up gets on the Patreon Legends War, of course. So if you want to sign up, link in the description below, as there is with stuff like Fanteam and all that good stuff as well. So hit that like button, hit that subscription button. I will see you tomorrow for another video. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you soon.